Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Testing.
You're stupid.
Yo. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 6 of our Love Lounge. We are here, baby. Hello.
Good morning.
How you doing, baby?
I'm doing well. How are you, love?
I'm doing well.
Good.
This is episode 6, and this one's for Saint Nick.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on. Before we cheers, I just want to let the viewers know that I have my Santa mug here. I got my Santa boot. My Santa boot will be present for the entire month of December.
You are so festive.
I am festive. Look, the Santa boot represents my favorite holiday of the year. That is Christmas, and Christmas is this month.
Yes, it is.
I
hope y'all ready.
Extremely excited because, I'm Santa every year. You know me, I'm Santa every year. I make it happen every year. Come on now. Am I not Santa?
Am I not Santa?
Am I not Santa every year?
You are Santa every year.
Okay, well, cheers to that.
You deliver and you
Cheers
deliver on time.
Let's go.
Cheers. What is in your Santa cup?
Today I got my Rise mushroom coffee.
Okay.
Shout out to Rise. Honestly, shout out to Rise. I know like a lot of people think that this is an acquired taste, and maybe it is, but
it is.
I feel like this does exactly what it says it's gonna do. So shout out to Rise, and we're gonna continue to drink Rise in the Santa mug all season long.
Wait, so if this is a morning episode, obviously.
Yes,
so
yes.
If it's a nighttime episode, are you having a nighttime cocktail in your Santa cup?
You know what? I might bring the Santa cup with some ice in it. With a little sip of whatever I'm sipping on. But this is a morning episode, so I got my coffee today. We don't really sip during the day. We don't really sip every night, but during the pod we try to,
It's the weekend, so
yeah, you already know. But cheers up to everybody out there.
Cheers.
Hey, Merry Christmas to everybody. We are coming. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. And I just have coffee, by the way. It's just coffee, and I had a little whipped cream with some caramel drizzle and then cinnamon to be festive, because I don't do that pumpkin spice.
I saw the little foam in your cup. I didn't know what was going on, so that's cool. Yep. That's cool. I love it. All right, well, let's jump into episode 6 of our Love Lounge.
Yes, so let's start with threads today. It's been a minute since our last pod, but we have some topics to go over on threads. And Erica So Divine wrote, "Am I wrong? ? So I met a man at a bar. Well, he walked up to me and my friend and started conversation, then asked for my number. First glance, he wasn't 100% my type, but his smile and confidence won me over. He then planned a proper date and we agreed on things we like to do. We landed on out to dinner, then a sip and paint. Sounds good. I'm excited. We meet at a restaurant and the energy was instantly, I'm out of his league. Me being dressed at a bar is different than me being dressed for a date. I came stepping. That was in all caps. LOL. And he was taken aback, which is cool. I like to show men that there's levels to me. LOL. Anyways, after the small, awkward interaction where I saw a slight insecurity in him, we still engaged in great conversation and the date went well. We decided not to get cocktails since we already have bottles of wine for the sip and paint. I love a good sober conversation for a date. We then leave and head to the next part of our date, and this is where things turn down a little. He pulls out a bottle of wine, Sutter Home to be exact. I drank this brand back in college when I had no money or knew anything about quality wine. I was shocked he would bring such a cheap wine. I told him respectfully, I don't drink that wine. It's too sugary. I don't want my stomach to hurt. Yes, brands matter because alcohol is still alcohol and you can have a hangover, get a headache, or sick off cheaper quality. He proceeds to say he doesn't know about brands, he just picked up anything. Okay, that's fine. Luckily, he brought two bottles and the other was another brand for white. We enjoy the painting part and continue to connect. Then, once finished, the company says they want to take pictures of the guests and show our paintings. I politely opted out, as well as another couple there. He asked me why. I say, well, this is a first date and I don't want to be on anyone's social media next to basically a stranger. We aren't together. He gets upset and says, that's tasteless. I say, how? He proceeds to say, what if this works? This would be a memory. Unfortunately, at that time, I had already known this wasn't going anywhere long term for me. So, out of empathy, I understood what he meant, but I had to stay true to me, and I didn't feel comfortable having a picture plastered with someone from a first date that I don't see a future with. Anyways, I go home and then he texts me and says he felt rejected, that I didn't want to be seen in a picture with him as if he was ugly. I had to then let him know that I follow my gut and I don't see us being a true fit. That dating is trial and error. A first date is to get to know someone, even with pure intentions, to date intentionally. That doesn't mean this person is the one. That doesn't mean this person is the one, and that is okay. He said he felt played and I treated him like a loser, all because I didn't want to take a picture with him. I understand his feelings, but that feels possessive to me for him to feel that way. Am I wrong? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Well, what was her name again?
Erica So Divine.
Erica Soul Divine. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Just listening to that, I really feel like, I have to give her credit. Number one, I feel like she really gave him a legitimate shot, even though she said he wasn't really her type. He won her over with his confidence and his smile and all those different things. And look, fellas, confidence is key. Confidence is key. You got to have confidence out there, man. If you are approaching a woman, you want to make sure that you are confident in your approach. Because that kid could win her over just like that right there. It wasn't normally her type, but won her over with his confidence. So that's key. Like, fellas, you got to remember that, man.
Confidence is key.
You do, you do. Now, getting into the actual first date. At the start of it, she said she was out of his league because of the way that she was dressed versus the way that he was dressed. And fellas, you gotta dress, man. You gotta get dressed, man. Your first impression is everything. I know he met her at the bar and all those different things, but now we on a date. You gotta show up, man. You gotta show up. You gotta put effort in, and I think that's what a lot of relationships get to the next step on is by putting effort in. And if she sees your effort, that makes her more inclined to put in effort as well. And she shows up to the date. She definitely put effort in. The way she said in all caps she was stepping, so she knew she looked good, right? She looked good.
She put them heels on.
Yeah, she put it on. She put it on. So, fellas, you gotta put it on as well. He needed to put it on as well. Like you come in like casual or whatever, trying to be cool and all that different stuff. Like, leave that at the front door. And I get trying to show a woman who you really are. This is how it's gonna be or whatever. But first impressions are everything. You gotta dress to impress.
You only get one chance to make a first impression.
That's it. That's it. So I really feel like he did himself a disservice on that because he didn't show up. He didn't show up the way he should have showed up on a first date. You got to dress and impress. So fellas out there, really, really put that effort in to showing up the right way when you first present yourself to a woman. What else? What else? I guess I think that's cool that they came to an agreement on their first date. I think that's very important to kind of find those commonalities between you two and understanding like if we're gonna make this a thing, like let's do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? And come to agreement on the first date. The first date is also key to doing something that both of you guys will enjoy, so that you guys can enjoy each other. You know what I mean? So I think that was really cool doing the sip and pain and everything. But you know, my man, you come to the sip and paint with some Sutter Home. I mean, you can get that at 7-Eleven. You can get that at the local liquor store. Come on, man. My man came with the Sutter Home. The Sutter
Oh
Home,
man,
bro. You can get that at QT.
yeah, you really can in a little four
You can
bottles.
get that at Flying J's.
Not the Sutter Home
Come
zone.
on,
You
bro.
know what would have been worse for
What?
me
What?
if someone showed up with barefoot.
That's another one. That's right next to the Sutter Home. You got Barefoot or you got Sutter Home. Which one you want? Pick your poison. No,
Literally, those are
no,
poison.
it's terrible. But
Yeah, that's
like
bad.
that. That's I would say that that's just as bad as showing up on the first date with like some Don Julio. Like she gonna think like, what you trying to do to me? Like, you trying to get me lit? Like you don't do anything like that. Like don't go way right or way left.
What?
Don't go on either end of the spectrum.
There we go.
Like do not do it. You gotta stay right in the center, right in the center. So if I'm going to a sip and paint, fellas, you gotta do your research. If you don't know, because I guess he said that, or I heard you read that, he doesn't really know brands
Yeah.
and all those different things, and that's cool. That's cool. But you gotta do your homework. You gotta do your homework, and you gotta know the caliber of woman that you are approaching. If in that first conversation, if you're really listening, you'll know the caliber of woman that you are approaching, and you know how you need to step. You know what I'm
Don't
saying?
go to. I think that he did a good job picking a white because that's safe. Not everybody. Red is definitely an acquired taste, and there's so many different reds
Yeah,
that can
yeah.
go very, very wrong. So I think that he did okay with at least getting two options and going with white. That's like the
I
safe
agree.
space. What he should have done is, which I'm assuming, but he might have went to like the grocery store and then just picked some wines. He should have went to like an actual Total Wine and More, a Bevmo, an actual liquor store where you can talk to somebody and say, "Hey, I'm going to Sip and Paint and I want to get a white. I'm not sure if she likes sweet or if she
Yeah.
likes dry. Can you give me one of both and give me like a good for each one?" That way you could have had options. And I mean, wine varies in price. Obviously, a Sutter Home is like a $6 bottle. But I mean, there's bottles that you can get that are good. Like you can get a Riesling that's sweet, and them is like $13. And then you can go a little bit crazier, and you can go with a Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that could be a little bit more expensive depending on what type of wine you're getting. But I think that that's where he should have went. He should have asked somebody. So I mean, she didn't
I
mention the
feel like
second brand.
I feel like he went to the local liquor store and my man brought the Sutter Home. Look, at the end of
I
the
said the
day,
grocery
like,
store, but
okay, so if he went to the grocery store, like you gonna pick out Sutter Home, you go to the grocery store. How many bottles are at the grocery store? There's a
there's
ton
a
of bottles.
ton.
Like I really doubt that's even worse if he went to the grocery store, because that means that he went for the cheapest thing that he
Yeah,
could
that's why,
find.
because I'm like, at the liquor store you can still ask. I mean, they might not know everything about it, but at least at the liquor store you can say, "Hey, you know what a good white wine is?"
Yeah, but there's not a whole lot of options at the liquor store. What
That's
I'm saying
true.
is, if you go to a grocery store, there's a ton of
That's why
options.
you go to a Total Wine and More or a
Yeah, yeah,
Bev
yeah.
Mo.
You're not wrong. But that's why I think he went to a local liquor store. And like I said before, you got to know the caliber of woman that you are trying to date right now. Like you can't show up with a $6 bottle, dog. Like that's not gonna fly. Like that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That just shows what type of man you are and what type of vibe you on with the woman that you dating. Like you gonna be super cheap like that, bro? Like spend an extra couple dollars, man. Go get you a Malbec. You know what I mean? Go get you a nice Malbec. Go get you what's the other one? The Merlot. Go get you a Merlot. Go get you something that's cool, that's respectable, man. You gotta spend more than $6 to get a bottle, man. We going to a sip and paint, man. You trying to show up, you trying to impress the woman, right? So not to kill him for that, because I feel like he did
He did
come with
try, and he
two
did come with two
options.
options.
He did come with
She
two
didn't name the other
options.
brand, but it
No.
must have been okay because she
Yeah, she
said
she said that one was
that
cool.
one
It was
was
a white
fine.
wine, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that's cool. That's cool, and I'm good with that. But you know, I think I think you gotta put a little more effort in it, and that's what it boils down to. I'm back to effort. You know what I mean?
Effort.
Putting some effort in. That means doing some research. Get on your phone. Everybody has a phone.
And that's a
It,
conversation piece too. Hey,
yeah,
I'm not really, I don't know much about wine. I'm not sure if you know much about wine. I actually, I mean, and it could have been, even if you didn't say, I don't know much about wine, which he ended up saying anyway, but that literally could have been a conversation. So I had to go up and I went to the Total Wine and More, and I had to ask one of the employees in there, like, what would you pick, or what do you suggest? And then you can have a conversation about that.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
And maybe she had a similar experience, and now there's more. Like I think that's showing like, hey, he actually went in there. He doesn't know about this, and then he put some
He
effort in.
put
I
some effort
think
into
a
it.
woman would appreciate that versus you showing up with some Sutter home, man.
That's so
Or
sad.
or the
Pote.
other option that you can go with is just ask her. Ask her
Yeah.
what is her preference. You know what I mean? Like, what is she like?
Which is okay.
We
It's a
going to
first
sip and
date.
paint. You guys talked about the date. You talked about what you guys are gonna do. You know you're not well versed in that category, so talk to her
Yeah.
and see what she actually likes, and then go get that. Just go get
Exactly.
that. You know what I mean?
Plain and
It's all
simple. Keep
about
it
effort.
simple.
That's it. That's it. You need a little help, ask her. The other thing that I would say is, going a little further into the story. They went to do the sip and paint and everything, and then they were doing photographs afterwards, right? So I think he's kind of out of pocket for even saying that that's tasteless, that she doesn't want to take a photograph with him. Like, ask her why. You know what I'm saying? Like, ask her why. I don't know if he asked her why or not, but for his comment to be that that's
Well, he
tasteless.
did. He did kind of. I think he did ask her why. He said that's tasteless, and then said, "Why don't you want to take a photo?" And then she explained herself.
Yeah, but don't say that's tasteless
Yeah,
before
I
you know
agree.
her reason.
Before you know
You
the
know what I'm
reason.
saying? Like
Yeah.
ask her why before you make a comment like that. I feel like that's a complete turn off for a woman at that point. You know what I mean? You say something like that, it's like, wow, really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and you talking about, first date. So again, guys, you guys are making a first impression. If that's how you are, and I get it. I get the dating scene out there is trash, and everyone's out there like really looking for a reason to say that this is not going to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think everyone's going into these first dates thinking that, here we go again, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I think you just got to be optimistic and be open to the possibility that this might be your person,
Yeah.
right? So you got to go into every situation that way and ask questions before you respond,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
For sure. You got to get to know. You got to get to know the person.
Yeah.
So I agree. I mean, but the question was, am I wrong? So is she wrong for not take? Do you think she's wrong for not taking a picture with him?
I think her reason is warranted. Honestly, I think her reason is warranted. Like, you don't know what social media platform you're gonna end up on. You don't know if they're gonna put you as, the on their pamphlet or at their showcase to showcase like what they do at their sipping paints. You know what I mean? Now you on a billboard with somebody that you don't even know,
Not a
and
billboard.
you sitting there, you sitting there smiling, sipping on Sutter Home.
You stupid.
You on you sipping on Sutter
You
Home
out of
with some
pocket.
clown that you don't even know, that you don't even speak to anymore. So
Yeah.
I understand her reasoning, and that's why I say, like, he needed to just ask more questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think he let his insecurities get the best of him, in my opinion. Like, I think a lot of people, I think that he felt a way about himself and he projected that on her about not wanting to take a picture with him. He took it way too personal. Like,
Yeah, I
it's just,
agree.
she don't want to take a picture with you. And I personally don't think that that's, like you said, I don't think that's a bad idea not to take a picture with somebody that you're on a first date with. Like, you don't know where it's going to go. And even if you, like he said, we could have had a nice story at the end or whatever, it's like, that's cool, but like, this is the first date. I don't really know you like that. So I don't want to be associated as if this is like my person and I'm on a platform. Like you said, I'm on a platform and now we looking together like we're in a relationship. And then not to say nothing can come from this, but in her mind, she was already thinking like this was a cool date, but and it was nice getting to know him, but I don't think this is going to go anywhere. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
another thing. He should have been more concerned about. She doesn't want to take a picture with me. She's probably saying she's not wanting a second date.
Yeah, yeah. And hey, that's a great point because I feel like if she was really feeling him on that date, she probably would have took that picture.
Yes, it's very possible.
She probably would have took that
It's
picture.
very
I don't
possible.
know. What are your thoughts on
I
that?
mean,
What are your thoughts?
I mean, she might have taken a picture. I still, even if I was feeling a person, I don't think I would take a picture. I think that that's, I don't know. I just wouldn't want to be on social media platform
Yeah,
for your brand, and then I'm with someone. And even again, if it doesn't go, it could even. I'm not saying I'm like speculating, obviously, and assuming a whole bunch of stuff, but it's like if you're dating, you know what I mean. You don't want it to be like that somehow gets out and you're on that picture, and then you're dating on a date with a whole different person. They're like, "Is this your dude? Like, what? Is, this was just a
yeah,
week ago, or are you
yeah.
a serial dater? Or I don't
Right,
know. It could
right.
be
No,
anything."
look, that's valid. That's valid.
So
But I think that if she was feeling him, I feel like she may have taken that picture. And if she was feeling him and she still took her stance where she's not going to take that photograph, then how do you reassure a man that you are interested in him after you don't take that photo?
ooh, that's a good question. That, yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's gonna, again, like I said, I think that would take some time to reassure a man that because if I was in his shoes and she said she didn't want to take a picture with me, I would automatically be assuming that she's not trying to get a second date.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you know what I mean?
You
So
gotta
then,
think like we're dating, like both of us are out here, we out here dating, we approaching people, all that different stuff. Like and it takes a lot of courage to approach someone in the first place and get to the point that they got to, right?
yeah,
So you gotta think like if I am constantly putting myself out there and then things like this are happening, like what am I left to think? Like I'm gonna think as a man, like, oh, she ain't really feeling me like that. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
And then of
She
course
don't
you
want to take
carry
a
that
photo
over.
with
That's
me.
the problem with the dating today
Yeah.
is that you carry all that stuff over to your next date and to your next date and to your next date and it affects you because now he's insecure about his last date and now he's going into the next date. Maybe that confidence may fizzle a little bit because he was confident when he approached her. Maybe he ain't so confident no more. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right. When she
so
said she started to see insecurities and all that different stuff, like yeah, yeah, what got her to um to accept the date in the first place or
was his
accept the
confidence.
number was the confidence. And if that dwindles and if that's gone, then what do you have left to stand on? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
What is it that you're now attracted to? If you said you weren't initially like immediately attracted to him, or he
Yeah.
wasn't your type. That's what she said.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
hey, that's another good point, fellas. Hey, if you approach her and you got that confidence, you got to keep that confidence. You can't, backtrack and start to get in your shell again after you approached her and you were confident because you see what she's wearing or how she stepped out. Like, nah, you got to keep that confidence and whatever you got on. Yeah, I know I said earlier that you got to dress to impress and all those different things, but let's just say you were like this gentleman who didn't dress to impress, right? You didn't step out, right? You still got to show that confidence.
yep.
Like, it don't matter what I got on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really got to show that, she's in a good spot with you. You know what I mean? And make her feel comfortable with you. And you got to continue to build on the initial contact that you guys made. The initial conversation that you guys had. You have to continue to build on that. You can't backtrack. You can't go back into your shell or how you used to be or whatever the case may be. You really gotta keep that confidence going. You gotta show her who you really are and always stand up, man. Always stand up for the fellas.
Always stand up.
But but
Okay.
all right. So that's my take on this whole situation. I know it was a lot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for going into
To make a
this rabbit hole, but it was a lot
story
to
longer.
it was a lot to digest and a lot to dissect. So I want to hear a little bit from you. on what you feel from this entire situation. Like, what are your thoughts here?
Well, there was a lot. I mean, from the jump, she obviously said that he wasn't her initial type, but I think of a especially today, from what we hear, especially today in today's dating world, I think for a man to approach a woman, one, that does take a lot of confidence. That even takes a lot of effort. So I can appreciate that from a man. So I get why she did that, why she entertained the date, even though he wasn't her initial type. And not only that, he approached her when she was with her friend. That makes it even more difficult when, usually it's an opportunity if a woman comes in by herself and she's at a bar. That isn't, I'm not saying that that happens often or it doesn't happen often, but usually that's a little bit easier. But if you have a friend there too, it's like they gonna look at me like I'm crazy. So that's a good thing he came with confidence and they went on a date. And I agree. I like that they actually had a conversation and landed on where they were gonna go. And I also like that even after she was still, it sounds like to me, it sounds like what turned her off was what he said. Because at the beginning, she said they had a sober conversation and she appreciated that. And it was going well. So it kind of seems like she was still kind of like, all right,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm entertaining this. I'm gonna give him a chance. Then
Yeah.
they got there. It was the Sutter Homes was the number one thing. That was like, first of all, he came to the date. He wasn't checking all of her boxes. First of all, he started with the confidence. That was perfect. That's what got him the date, right?
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
he steps into the date. They come together for their date, and she comes out stepping. And then obviously he was in something that wasn't appropriate for a first date
Yeah.
because she said, so that's didn't check that box, and it was an awkward meetup for
Yeah,
her.
yeah. I
You
think
know,
she said it was awkward,
she said it
right?
was awkward. So once they got past that, then they went on the date. Then it's like now they get to the date. They're not drinking. So they're having sober conversation. And she said it went well. So that's like, okay, cool. He came with confidence. He can actually hold a conversation. We got past that initial awkward phase where I'm dressed to impress and he didn't come in his best. So then they got past that. They go on
Whoa,
the
whoa, whoa. Wait, before you go to the next step, I feel like it was at that moment that she knew they would only just be good friends.
you stupid. I don't even
He could hold a conversation. That's what she was going off of. She was going off of confidence, and he can hold a conversation. So this
But I
might be
still think
good
she was
friends.
entertaining that, okay, I can still maybe see this may be. I'm still going to give it a chance. I won't say she was
Okay. Okay.
entertaining. I'm saying she was still open to giving it a chance,
Okay. Go
which I
ahead.
guess that is entertaining, but she was still open to giving it a chance. So then they get to the sip and paint, and this man pops out with a bottle of Sutter Homes. It's like,
Yeah, it was over.
okay,
Good
yeah,
night.
I think I'm done. And I'm telling you, I'd never really had a phase. I never had a phase where I drank Sutter Home. I was like, I thought it was
Yeah, yeah,
disgusting from the immediate time I tasted. So I know she said she did it back in her college days, and that makes sense because it's inexpensive.
yeah,
But she right, it will give you a hangover. It will give you a headache. That would have been a hard pass for me too.
yeah. And I think that was the last straw.
That was
Like I
the
think that
last
was it
straw.
because I think he was going into the fourth quarter with, he was down 20.
I think she had her mind made up. This man came out with Sutter Home.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
done.
Like, I
Like,
think it was a wrap right
check,
there.
please. But of course, and I think how she was a lady and she stayed that because
Yeah.
that would have been tasteless had he popped out with that Sutter Home
Absolutely.
and then she said, oh
Absolutely.
yeah, no, it's a no, we're gonna leave because there's a lot of females. There's a lot of females today that would have clowned him for doing that, and they probably would have got up and walked out.
Yeah, they would have showed
So I
out.
felt like she had class to stay in it.
100%.
Good job, Erica So Divine.
100%.
Way not to crush a man's pride.
100%. I agree. I
Right?
agree.
So then the next thing is now we didn't paint it. We didn't sipped on the other bottle of wine. He redeemed himself by putting that Sutter Home bag and bringing out the next bottle of white wine. And I feel like they might have had a conversation too about wine because he got white. He didn't get one white and one red just in case. He got two whites. So it's like maybe they did have a conversation. I don't know. So then they do that. And then comes around after all the painting is done. They want to take the company wants to take their picture. And then a couple opts out. She opts out. And then he has the nerves to say, that was kind of tasteless. Like, that sounds like that was the, what is it? The straw that broke the camel's back?
Yeah, yeah. I
The
think
straw that broke the camel's
yeah,
back. Put the
yeah.
nail at the head.
But I think at that moment when he made that comment, I think he was already feeling like she wasn't feeling him. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
I mean, maybe, maybe,
I
maybe.
think that's
Maybe he was
why
in his, he was in his
maybe that's
feelings.
why he made that comment, because maybe there was things leading up to that point to where he was just like, like this ain't, she not really feeling me. That was tasteless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think he got in his feelings. I think he got emotional. And fellas, you can't get emotional out there, man. Don't get emotional, man. Come on,
Yes.
come on. But go ahead,
That's
go ahead.
no.
Sorry to interrupt.
It's cool. I mean, you know, it's cool. No, it's I just think that was it. After that happened, it was for sure it's a no for me. And I mean, and she still took his call the next or answered his text. I think she said it was a text and he was like talking about it, but I just think that I don't think that that was necessarily possessive that he was saying that why didn't you want to take a picture with me? Like you act like I'm ugly. I don't think that was possessive. I think again it was more on insecurities for me. And like I said, he should have been more concerned with because she didn't want to do all this, it's probably not going to be a second date. But
Yeah.
I don't really think she was wrong. And again, I think that she handled herself well. I don't know if did she actually say she made the comment about the Sutter homes to him? Because I'm like, if that's the case, maybe he was even more in his feelings.
I don't know if she said that she made a comment to him, but I think I think
She
she was
probably
like, "Whoa,
looked.
Sutter, oh, like, and she said, remember, she said like if she don't want her stomach to hurt or something like that,
Yeah.
right? So, I think overall, if we getting down to it, like I really think that if I'm answering her question, I will say that she is not wrong. She is not wrong for staying true to who she is and how she feels about the situation. Like, I think leading people on when you know that there's nothing there or you don't want a romantic relationship with that person, I think that's wrong. So I would say that this is not wrong. Like, if you felt anything around like this is not for me, if you felt like this is not for me, if you felt like now this is not gonna work, I feel like she did the right thing
Yeah.
by letting him know like this is not going to go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's important to be honest to people and not lead people on, because he may have thought that, hey, this is a great first date. You know what I'm saying? Like, and oftentimes guys, I think a lot of guys don't always read the room. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I think that a lot of guys don't have that awareness with a woman on how they're maybe making a woman feel,
We've talked about this before too. Yeah.
or yeah. I don't think they have that awareness. Like, this is how I'm making this woman feel, or maybe I'm off on how I think this date is going. You know what I'm saying? And the women are very like, I don't know. Women are really dissecting everything that's happening on the date as the date
Yes.
goes, and I think men are kind of like, "Yo, I think this is going smooth." Blah blah
We're like
blah. I'm
hyper
giving her.
women are hyper alert.
Yeah, yeah, and I think guys are just kind of like going with their flow, like, you know what I mean. I'm giving her my best game and all this stuff. Like, I'm doing this. You really not. You really not. And I think men gotta be.
You're really not.
You really not. You really not. Like, I think every woman is different, and you got to approach every woman in a different way. You're never gonna meet your person and self, and you're just coming with the same routine that you do with every single woman. You're never gonna meet the woman that you really want to be with,
Yeah.
because you just come in with game. Throw the game out the door. It ain't about game. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of guys get things confused, like, oh, this is my Riz and all this different stuff. You know how they get, but
Yeah.
like, leave that at the door. Every woman is different. Figure her out. Talk to her.
I real quick, I want to bring back up what she said because I like that she said she followed her gut because kind of like you said, don't lead people on. She said she followed her gut. She also said that dating is trial and error. Like, I like that as well. She said a first date is to get to know someone, even with pure intentions, to date intentionally. That doesn't mean this person is the one, and that is okay. And I like that. I think that if more people in the dating world right now were to approach dating like that, they would understand that like everything is not going to work out. Like you literally that saying you got to kiss 10 frogs before you meet your prince. Like it that is sometimes that is how life works. Some people they kiss the first frog and that's their prince. But in most cases like it's trial and error. And I think that as long as you have intentions on I am looking for my person, you can go into a date with those intentions. And if at some point you say this, I don't think this is my person, and obviously I know it takes time to get to know somebody, but there are things that you just say, I don't think I'm compatible with somebody. And you want that initial like compatibility, you want to have that chemistry with someone, and you want there to be an ease to dating. So I think that you have to just like say, you have to be okay with like this might not work. And in order to find out if it's gonna work, you gotta go out on a date. You gotta talk to someone. So
Right.
I think that was an important thing that she said. Like she followed her gut. She, like you said, she didn't lead him on. She could have forced it and just kept going. Okay, let's go on another date. Okay, let's go on another date. And it's like, for what?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I say she's not wrong. She's not wrong. She
I agree.
followed her gut. She did the right thing.
Oh, darn it. We agree.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding. Well, since we are on the topic of threads, um, this actually kind of fits in with that as well, because, and hopefully I say it right, Zelda's Fit, he wrote, not gonna lie, the dating scene is pure ass. Every interaction feels like I'm either losing brain cells or auctioning off pieces of my sanity. Adults can't form complete sentences, schedule a basic date, or keep the simplest promise. It's tragic. At this point, I can't tell if my standards are too low or if I'd have to dig a tunnel to hell just to lower them enough. Sheesh. So, first off, what is your initial reaction to that statement?
I don't know. I feel like that person really needs to identify what they're looking for. And maybe you're going after the wrong people. You know what I mean? Like maybe you're giving attention to the wrong people. So I think you got to identify like what you're looking for, what's your criteria, and someone that you're looking to date. And if they don't check off those initial boxes, maybe categorize it, right? Like you got like, okay, this first step, like if you're not meeting me here in the first steps, like, okay, I'm not physically attracted to you. Okay, you can't really hold a conversation. Okay, we're not into the same things. Then you need to move on. You know what I'm saying? And not even give that person an opportunity to schedule a first date or try to get to know that person. You know what I'm saying? So you got maybe you're not asking the right questions in the beginning of meeting someone. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like everybody is different. You're gonna run into different people, and everybody's not gonna be your cup of tea. But if you're giving every single person an opportunity to try to get to know them because you're desperate, then yeah, you're never gonna find your person.
So then the question I would pose is, should people lower their standards to find the one?
Should people lower their standards to find the one? I don't believe you should ever lower your standards. If that makes sense. I think if you connect with somebody and maybe they don't check off like all of your boxes. We always talk about checking off boxes. Maybe they don't check off all your boxes, but they check off a very important one. And maybe a very important one is like your values, your morals, right? Maybe that's something that you can work with, and I think we talk about it often with, some women that don't give a guy a shot. I think we talked about it on a pod before where women are saying, "Oh, you live with your parents, so it's a no go kind of thing," right? Like so, like I think people are just quick to like, say like, "No, this person is not gonna be, somebody I date because of one thing." And I think you got to look at the person for who they are. If it's a good person, and maybe they're not where they want to be in their life, Maybe they're not where you expect someone to be that you want to date, right? But they are a good person. If they check off those very important boxes, which I believe are morals and values and goals, I think you can work with that.
Yeah. No, I think that it's important to define your standards, you know what I mean? I think that if everything is if everything is surface level, then yeah, I think that you like there needs to be a reality check. Like if you're like, "Oh, I need I need my person to be 6'6", and I need my person to be if it's all the shallow stuff, I need my person to be athletic build, and I need my person to be working in a blue collar world, or I'm sorry, I need my person to be working white collar job, or I need you to drive a nice car. I think if everything is surface level, then yeah, your standards need to be reevaluated. I think if we're talking about kind of like how you said, if it's about the person, I think it should be about the person. Obviously, I'm not saying that you don't people don't have a type. That's natural. That's normal. What you're attracted to is normal. You obviously have to go off looks for the most part for the first time. That's what you have to go off of. So I get that, but I think that if your standards are just that surface level stuff, then yeah, you need to lower your standards in that case. I don't think that you should ever lower your standards in the sense of compromising who you are as a person. I'm not going to get somebody that's just like a rude, obviously there's stuff like that. Like I'm not going to get someone who's rude. Obviously, if you believe if religion is important to you, you're not going to get someone who's anti or an atheist, you know what I mean? So I get those things, like don't lower your standards in that sense. But if everything is surface level, then I think you need to lower your standards a little bit. And when I say lower, I really mean just a reality check, because you're talking about, I've talked about it before, you're talking about a very low percentage in coming from a woman's perspective, a low percentage looking for a man that is like, oh, okay, I'm looking for a man that has six figures. I'm looking for a man that drives a Ferrari or some type of BMW, or, that's all surface level stuff. Like, you need to like really, I think that people really need to figure out what their person means to them and what their person looks like to them, as far as I want a good man. I want a man that's gentle. I want a man that is has a good relationship with his mother. I want a man that has a good job. I want a man that has goals, has aspirations. I want to even saying I want a man that travels. Like all that's fine, but when you're talking about all that other stuff that is just really doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't mean much, but really is like very surface level. Like saying you want somebody that makes a ton of money and drives a nice car and has a mansion and don't have no kids, and but he's in his 40s, doesn't have any kids, never been married. It's just like all that stuff is very surface level. Like get to know the person, understand that person first before just immediately saying, oh no, even today, like people be like, oh, I don't want, I'm in my late 30s, but I don't want a man that has a kid. But you're looking for someone that matches you as far as an age. It's like, well, that's not very likely. Oh, I want a man that has never been married before, but you're in your 40s. That's not very likely to happen. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's not very likely. So I just feel like
Yeah, you lower your percentages on the people that fit in that category.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So in that sense, that's what I mean by like lowering. If we're saying lowering your standards, then yeah, you got a reality. You have to have a reality. Like there has to be a reality check at some point when you have to say, okay, mid to if I'm in my mid 30s and I'm looking for a man and he doesn't have a kid, or you know what I mean, there's multiple reasons to this. It could have been someone who was married before. It could have been someone who was with their high school sweetheart and they had a kid together. So there's layers to all that. That's why I say let's get away from all the surface level standards and let's talk about like the actual person, who they are. And then I think you move to those other, okay, obviously the first thing you want to be is like attracted to the person. So I get that. But lower your standards if all of your standards are just based on surface level things.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. Those things you can acquire, the things that you're talking about, money, the car, the house,
Yep.
the stability, like all those different things you can acquire. Look at the person.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it. All right. So let's get into media takes.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's
Okay.
do it.
So this was on Instagram, and I am going to play the audio. Let's listen.
What do you mean?
What you mean? Why would I want? I don't want to do that.
You just gave me reasons.
You're not doing that, babe. I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
What you mean? Why would I want? I don't want to do that.
You just gave me reasons. Listen.
Well, listen. You gotta think about it. We have history, right? And if I block him, he's gonna be like upset. He's gonna be worried and wonder where I've been at, what I've been doing.
Why? Oh my gosh! Why the fuck are you worried about what he's gonna be worried about?
What you mean? That's
You're not
my
in a
ex.
So what?
If it's my ex, why would I be worried? Of course, I still care. Like, I mean, I don't care about him, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Are you okay?
Babe.
Listen, if you're not gonna block him, I'm not gonna be in a relationship with you. Why would you even respond to a message that? First of all, oh
babe,
my
I just don't
god.
feel like we're grown enough to not like we don't have to block each other's exes. Like that's corny to me.
Listen. I never said that from the jump. You gave me a reason to make him want to get blocked.
Okay, I'm not going to block him though, even if you say it.
So you're texting him though.
I don't care. I'm not blocking him. I'm sorry, because I don't want him to be worried, trying to figure out where I've been at, what I've been at. Like I still want him to see. Matter of fact, it's not like that. I want him to see us. I want him to see how
Now you
I
want
got
to
me
see
a
us.
good nigga. I got me a like
You want to lose
a
a
nigga
nigga
that's
that's about
better
you.
than him. I'm not
You about
losing
to
no nigga
lose.
for love. I'm not losing
Promise
no
you.
nigga. Don't say that.
Listen,
Don't even wish that.
I'm gonna tell you
Don't
this right
don't
now.
say that.
If you can't block him right now, I'm gonna have to go drop you off home.
Which I'm not blocking him. I'm not blocking
Alright,
him.
cool.
I don't care. So I don't know what you about to do because I'm not blocking him. I don't care. I love you and I don't love him anymore and I'm not blocking him. Like, what's the point? What is the
point of you
That
keeping
doesn't mean he's not gonna still
You
try
want him to still text you and stuff
No,
and
I
see
don't.
your
I
stuff
don't
for
want
what?
him to text bro. Like, now you're about to get mad.
I'm getting you mad.
Yes,
trying to put it on
because
me.
I never told you to block your
Listen,
ex. Like,
Right, so I'm not texting my fucking ex.
it don't
I'm not
matter.
responding to
It
her
don't
messages
matter.
or
It don't
stories like
matter.
that.
I'm not
I
blocking
don't care if
him.
he just said
I
thank you.
don't care. He needs to still see what the fuck I got going on. He needs to see how we lost all the bad bitch. What you talking about?
You're responding thank you with a heart for what?
What you mean?
What are you responding for? That's your ex.
Okay, I'm responding more, but I'm not
No,
blocking him.
if you can't block him, then we're done. I'm telling you.
I'm not blocking him.
Okay, well, all right, so we're done. I'm gonna take
So
you.
you wanna break up
I'm gonna
with
take you home. Yeah, of course. I'm gonna take you home, and you're gonna have to figure out what you're gonna do with your ex.
No, all right. This is why I'm definitely not blocking him. Because if you want to break up with me, just because I'm not blocking him.
This is why I'm definitely not blocking
You
him.
colors, you a big ass red flag.
You,
Anybody else would say the same shit.
It don't matter, bro. I'm not blocking him. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, all right.
He's not bothering you. He didn't text you. Like,
He texted you and he said thank you,
It don't
so
matter.
what?
I'm not blocking him. I'm not doing that, man.
Yo.
so basically, if it wasn't easy to distinguish what was going on there, it was the boyfriend was telling his girlfriend to block her ex because she was responding to him.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's
So-
talk about it.
So just listening to that, like, I feel like she full of shit. I feel like she full of shit. She really wants your boy to be jealous that she got a new dude and all this stuff, but she really want to be back with her ex.
That's
what
childish.
That's what
first
it
of
looked
all.
like. That's what it looked like. I think she playing games and she's stringing your boy along. So shout out to your boy for saying that he gonna go drop her off, cut her off. Like, that's red flags all day, bro. That's exactly what you should do. Drop her off home, tell her to have a nice life, and move on with your life because
Drop her
she's
off
still,
at home.
yeah, she's still really thinking about your boy. She want to know what your boy thinks about what she's doing. She likes
Yeah.
that he is tuning into her life, and she wants to post all these things that she's doing so that she can try to make him jealous to get him back or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think she feels a way about what her ex is doing, and she wants him to feel the same way about what she's doing, and they playing a game.
Yeah.
And you just can't be involved in that, man. Like, you gotta know when to cut somebody off. Like, she's trash.
I love how she switched it up too. She was like, "Yeah, it's okay. He can see me." And she's like, I want him to see what we got going on.
Yeah, she full of
She
shit. That's
switched
what
it
I'm saying.
up.
She full of shit. She switched it up. Switched it up. She tried to catch herself, but nah, the cat is out the bag. You want to be back with your ex? Just go try to get your ex back. Don't use me.
Well, I think that she is definitely very young minded too. I don't know what her
100%.
actual age is, but young, she looks young, but also very young. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like what do you always say? You play childish games, you win childish prizes. What is it?
Yeah,
What's it?
yeah.
What's it?
Play stupid
Yeah,
games.
play
You win
stupid games.
stupid prizes.
You play stupid games. You win stupid prizes, and I just feel like that you could have lost a good one because that just doesn't make any sense. And look, I get it. It sounds like I'm gonna expose myself, I guess, right now. I've had a situation, we've had a very similar situation where I thought when I was young, you could still be friends with your ex and it'd be okay. But it's not okay. It just does not always, it don't work like that. And that's why I say she's young and inexperienced because usually when you're coming from the space and it's like you good, you don't ever know if your ex is good or what the ex's intentions are. And we had a situation where I was like, "Oh, I could be friends with my ex," and you was like, "No, you can't." You're
Yeah,
looking.
yeah. Like who wants that in the back of their mind? Like that you were out with your friend, quote unquote, who used to be your boyfriend. Like I don't want to deal with that shit.
Yeah,
Like don't nobody want to deal with that. Like don't nobody even want to even be wondering what's going on, how it's
yeah,
going on, all that different stuff. And I feel like as soon as you meet someone that you are trying to really get to know and build with, I think those things got to go out the window. You can't have exes around that are your friends, and you don't like. To your point, you don't know what their intentions are and all those different things. And why would you want to put that on the person that you're trying to get to know or you're trying to build with at
yeah,
that point? You know what I mean? Like, is it worth it to have that friendship? Or is it worth it to see where this goes with this new person that you found
yeah,
in your life? You know what I mean? And it was a no for me going into that. And if that's what you wanted to do, if your friendship is that important to you, then cool, leave me out of it. You know what I mean? I would have been
yeah,
like your boy on the audio. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have been like him. Hey, cool. Be with friends with your ex. Cool. Go do that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna partake in that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not about to be wondering what's going on or you on the phone late night with your ex boyfriend or
That's weird.
whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
It could be anything. Like nah, it ain't happening. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's just not happening. That's just me. That's who I am. I'm not about to let that fly.
And that could be, I mean, that's a whole another topic because I think that the reality is exes are exes for a reason. And in most cases, you can't be friends with your ex. In most cases, you can't be, especially if you're moving into if you're moving into a different relationship and that is the past, it's not likely to work out. And again, also it always depends on intentions. For me, there was like, I don't want to be with this dude. I'm with you. You know what I mean? But for me, I was just like, because I don't want to be with this dude, then it should be fine. But then later, it sounded like dude still wanted to be with me. So I was like, yeah, no, gotta cut you off. Like it's done.
Yeah, you gotta
We
figure out
can't
if it's
be
worth it. If
we
that
can't be
friendship is
we
worth
can't be
it,
friends. And for me,
yeah.
it's like you said, it sounds like she still wants to be with her ex, or they're playing childish games back and forth, and she wants to make sure he's checking up on her. And it's like that's just no. Like if you want to go
I
be
know
with him,
people, and I know people like that. I know people like that.
you always know
I'm not gonna
somebody.
say no names, but I know people like that are playing games like that and want their ex to see it with all that different stuff. I'm not gonna say no names, but you know who you
OMG,
are.
you stupid. No, yeah,
And
is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth jeopardizing your current relationship for a friendship with an ex? Is it worth it? And again, like not talking about not going down in any history or whether they're like a family friend or whether what the background is it worth it? You know what I mean? Because I mean, there's obviously different stories that people are friends with their ex, but there's a difference between being friends with your ex, being associates. Like he said, he's like, I'm not asking you to block. He said he wasn't asking her to block him, but it's the fact that you're still having interactions with him, and now you're making it weird. Like, I have a reason to say this is a red flag. Like, why are you? He said, you said thank you with the heart.
Yeah.
Like, if there is, and obviously he had a red flag for a reason, because after that whole interaction between the two of them, she was really standing 10 toes down talking about, I'm not blocking him. Like, and I get it. It sounds like I don't like ultimatums, and I don't like people putting me in a situation to make me feel like, oh, you have to choose. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, choose now. Like, or you're telling me I have to do this. Like, that feels possessive. So
Yeah, it feels controlling.
it feels
like
controlling, you know what I mean?
and stuff.
But I
get
think that it, and that could have been how it came off. Maybe the conversation could have went a little bit different so that there was an understanding. But the fact that she was fighting so bad not to understand what he was talking about because she was communicating with her ex, then it makes it seem like, and during the conversation, she's basically like saying, "Are we cool? Like, he's just checking up on me, and I don't want him to worry about me.
He's
Why do
worried
you
about me."
why do you care if he's worried about you, girl?" Then I think he said, "What?" And she said, I want him to see us."
Yeah, I think she was.
I
the
think
more she talked, the more she
dug.
validated the
Yep.
reason why
She was digging herself in a deeper hole.
He needed her to block him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she
truth
validated
was exposed.
his feelings. You know, on how he felt about the whole thing. If she had a valid reason why she wasn't gonna block him, you know what I mean, then that would be a different story. But the reasons that she gave sound like, yo, you still want to be with this dude, or you still have some type of intent there that you want him to see you doing whatever you doing. You know
I want
what
him to see what we're doing. Why?
Yeah, what's the point in that?
What is the point? It's weird.
I think he had his valid reasons on why he wanted her to block him, and I think he made his stance. Like, hey, I'm drawing a line in the sand right here. Like, either you on this side or you on that side. And if you on that side, cool. I drop you off home. We all good. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna be a part of it, and that's the stance that I would have taken as well.
Yeah, I mean, she gonna learn today.
She gonna learn, or she ain't gonna learn. One of the two.
She gonna learn something because she was getting dropped off.
She gonna learn something. She gonna learn something. Well, thank you all again for another episode of Our Love Lounge. Remember, this is the place where you can get all of your relationship takes, from good to bad, from lust to love. This is Our Love Lounge, and we brought this to you guys. If you going through anything, hey, reach out to us, man. We here to talk about it.
Connect.
We're here to connect. We really are. But I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in to episode 6. Thank you for being here, because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us.
Thank you.
On Our Love Lounge.
Yes.
So, episode 6, babe. You know how we do it.
End it how we started it.
That's right.
Cheers.